Welcome back to JK Out of the Closet. Today we have Anthony back, and we're talking about this just says, and I don't know how else to put this. Anthony talks about performing Icy Fire on ABDC.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
America's Best Dance Crew. Obviously, we know that part.
Icy Fire?
I don't know Icy Fire. What's that one?
It's the name of a song. It's a routine that I made. This is, again, Bart asked us to come up with...
Stop blaming me, dude.
He's crediting you.
Impactful, pivotal moments that like really changed our lives in different ways. And okay, number
Stretch
one.
the dough, don't break the dough. Stretch the dough, don't break the dough.
I'm sure Ryan will talk about this in different ways because I was fortunate to be on ABDC at the same time that Ryan was his second time.
Championship year.
Where they won.
I saw how pivotal it was for you too.
It was. That's not even a joke. That's like actually real.
Yeah.
The thing is, America's Best Dance Crew, obviously huge for our culture, especially the culture of crews. Like there's not even crew shows anywhere anymore, and this was like the biggest thing at its time. And season 1, where the Jabberwockies won, Mike, Tony, Lawrence, all of them were there with Kaba. Season 3, Quest Crew won. Victor was on that crew. And season 5, the Poriotics won, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it goes, I think, till season 7.
Yeah, 7.
And then it kind of chills out for a second or gets canceled or whatever. And then eventually, and the entire time was a lot of my friends go on the show. Kindra's eventually got turned into an actual crew at some point. And I was just a witness to this, but my dreams of wanting to be on, not saying I had dreams, but I was, the idea of ever being on it was gone with the wind. And then suddenly they decided to bring it back, and I was like, oh shit, they're deciding to bring it back, that's crazy. But then they call it the season of champions, aka it's just the past champions get invited to come back on. So again, the idea of it, gone. I was never on it, doesn't make sense.
Not a champ.
Thank you.
No, you're not a champion.
Say it one more time, please.
You knew already that you were not a champion.
Thank you.
Said it.
Subtitle it if you can.
Yeah, more words.
Put my name in there too so it can be meme-ified. That being said, they do Season of Champions, but then because our crew ends up having past champions on it, because our crew has members from Poriotics, members from Quest, members from Cabo Monter, even though they didn't technically win, members from Jabberwockies. We have different members the way our crew is structured, that they eventually were you guys should come on the show. And then I was like, what the f***? I'm gonna get an opportunity to go on the show that I've witnessed all of my homies do in the last 10 years.
Was that part of the narrative on TV? This crew has all
100%.
Oh, okay.
100. That was the only way. Dude, Kindra's was you had never f***ing heard of us if you weren't in the dance scene. And every other group that was on this season of champions won ABDC before. So the only way that they could bring us on was they literally said in our opening package, we have members of Cabo Monter and the Jabberwockies and Poriotics that are part of this crew. And that was their okay for us to come in and participate. Because they realistically, they probably just needed to say the word Jabberwocky somewhere, because Jabba just didn't. They had nothing to lose. Why would they come back?
Yeah, they weren't going to come back.
Yeah, they were already on top of the world. So it's we got this random opportunity to come be on the show. I go in and I'm there, and this comes down to again, when you talk about artist insecurity and dynamics and stuff like that, artists are sensitive motherfuckers, especially choreo dancers. Choreo dancers are the most pussy dancers in the entire dance culture.
Why is that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Why?
We're just so pillow soft. Our bag is fucking coming up with moves, and then everybody dancing and nobody standing out too much because we should be clean and stuff like that. B-boys are the complete opposite end of the spectrum, but also, everything comes with its pros and its cons. But we're choreo is you're very you want to always be supportive of other people's thoughts, feelings, decisions. Usually,
you want to be inclusive.
Yeah. So I'm coming on there, and I take pride in the idea that me and Mike co-founded Kindra's, and we brought a group of very esteemed choreographers and dancers onto our crew to go handle this show. But in no space in time did I ever feel in my own crew that I was ever even close to the best dancer in that group. Not even
Skill-wise.
close. Skill-wise. Movement skill-wise, straight up. creation ideology, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I think I definitely play a part. I think what I really brought to the table, other than the fact that, like, I was a talker, which is why they always relied on me to speak during interview packages and shit like that.
You're a feminist?
Believe all women.
Yeah.
No, that's his table, buddy.
I was willing to organize and just rally, like, if you know what I mean. Sometimes people, they're not willing, they're just artists, they just want to dance.
Eagle Scout.
And I'll be the guy, Eagle Scout. I'll be the guy to be like, yo, we should get together, we should do this, we should blah blah blah. Let's make sure we organize this, let's have this, you know what I mean? Whatever. I would just organize shit. Even when it comes to being an effective creative director with a lot of other different people that are just as capable of creative directing, being able to lead by stepping away and not needing to give myself the shine of certain sections, being like, you're better at this section, you're better at this music, blah, blah, blah. So the entire show, it's like, even though, again, I'm one of the quote-unquote leaders, it's like, everything's about, like, just putting our best foot forward, even if it's not myself. And then suddenly we get to our last episode, and it's just us in Quest. And our literally last show of the entire experience on ABDC, everybody's suddenly down to do my routine. Up until this point, every routine was a collaborative, put together thing. But for whatever reason, in wanting to just represent ourselves, which I think is foolish in hindsight, I think at the end of the day, we're not just on a competition, we're on a reality TV show. When you think TV show, you should just play TV show rules for entertainment. You don't think like artistry. But you know, we were all green to a lot of experience, so we're just like, regardless of win or lose, let's just represent ourselves the way that's authentic. You know what I mean? Some hippie shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we're like, all right. So everybody was down to like do my routine, which was very, how would you describe it, Ryan?
What do you mean?
Icy Fire is a routine. It's like, it's not a competitive piece. It's just
More artistic?
Well, no, I don't know. I didn't think it was non-competitive.
What word are you looking for?
It's a slow song.
Oh, okay.
It's, you know what I mean? It's like a really ethereal Ed Sheeran
it draws
acoustic
you
track.
It draws you in, and I think you will feel what the intended feel is. It's not really up for like, what vibe do you have watching this? It's
But the goal is to beat them, right? And
it's a competition.
So it's more so like, this is just who I am, this is what I like, versus like more of like a battle style.
Yeah, it's definitely not battle style.
But
It's
we
more
still
like,
saw it like that was getting us.
What do you think made people dial in on it?
Was it because it was so different than the other performances at the time?
I think we were just trying to show like range of like what we're authentically are capable of.
Yeah.
And our entire bit too, or just like our branding is, we were always telling stories. Like when I say telling stories, I'm not saying like their performances to tell stories, but we had like a voice that would like tell a story of like where we were in the journey or why we were doing something. We had our sensei come out, and I was recording our sensei voices, or we had like costumes that would like have these different things. And so in this ending one, we like wrapped up like our story.
It feels very like solemn, like it feels like it feels lonely, but it is extremely effective.
But is it like based on the other competitors, like your piece was just a fresh breath of fresh air compared to everyone else's?
It was definitely different.
For the whole season,
For the whole season,
everybody's
different.
It was a standout.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't blow ups, like impressive physical certain things. It was just like, for sure, that my intention when creating it, okay, let me go back to even like why I created this piece or why it's important to me. Number one is because it was probably the first time I had choreographed something even out before the show that felt like genuinely just me. Mm-hmm. Everything else was probably a reflection of people who taught me, and or like, you know, me just kind of like playing the game of dance and whatnot.
Influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was the first time I like went with like, I just want to move like this to this weird song that nobody would think about choreographing to, because I'm just gonna try shit out. And then when I did it, we performed it at our first like major Kinja's performance at Body Rock 2014. We performed it for whatever reason. Everybody came up to me, and it just validated my existence as like an artist in the game.
Like everyone liked it.
Yeah, everyone liked it, and even I tell people when people are like, "How do you find your music?" And as cheesy as this is, I tell people like the best songs that I've ever created to in my life, I never found the song. I feel like the song found me. You want to know where the song comes from?
Yeah,
it's in the credits of the second Hobbit, right? The Desolation of Smaug. You know when the fucking dragon flies out and you know shit's about to go down and then cuts the credits and then Ed Sheeran's voice comes in all solemn and hit, right?
Today's video is brought to you by The Daily Drop.
So I love traveling, but what sucks about traveling is that it can get expensive.
So pricey.
Yeah, because you got three main things you gotta focus on. You got the travel part.
Oh yeah.
Then you got the lodging. And then you got the food.
And you got complaining friends, and then you want to get rid of them.
So you're like, you know what, let's just get rid of these guys, and then we'll just do it with the people that are cool.
Yep.
And out of these three, there are people out there that can help you hack the system with especially traveling and also the lodging, which is why I love the Daily Drop.
And I know this information, and I've been hoarding how to like travel hack and use points and all that stuff. But the Daily Drop is actually going to share this information with you because they're not like me.
So join 1 million readers and learn how to travel around the world for nearly free with miles and points for under 5 minutes a day. And in less than 5 minutes a day, they teach you to earn and redeem miles and points for epic travel experiences. See for yourself why over 1 million readers start their morning with Daily Drop. Subscribe now using the link in the description to get started on earning towards your next dream travel experience.
The reason why it's hit me so hard is because before I went to go watch that movie, me and my roommate, he was like, yo, you wanna go take some shrooms? And I was like, bet. He's like, let's go. And we're like, let's go watch Lord of the Rings, right? Or The Hobbit. So we think it's gonna be just like fantasy, like we're seeing dwarves and elves. I didn't realize that when you're on shrooms and like the whole dragon scene where they're in the mountain with all the gold and he's running around trying to hide, like I'm like,
You're tripping.
this is intense. You know what I mean? Like I maxed out intense.
Well, and they show it with like 120 frames a second, like not natural from the human eye.
Yeah, it's
That scene is crazy.
Dangerous
That scene is
dragon,
nuts, bro.
right? And I'm on shrooms,
Looks
right?
like a BBC show.
And then when it cuts and it's black, and then the most fucking beautiful man's voice comes in. Oh, Misty, bro, my heart started crying.
You just gave me chills right now.
You know what I'm talking? So that song, that's how I found it, or it found me. So that's why I choreographed
It
it.
didn't find you just did drugs.
Shrooms
found
makes
me.
you listen more.
It found me. You know what I'm saying? So like I had this actual emotional experience with this. So when I created to it, I didn't want to create it like I'm in a dance world, blah blah. I just had a relationship with it. And then it ended up being, and that's how like artistry is, right? If you make something that's like unique and authentic, but you could tell it's authentic, people will give you praise for it. So I got mad praise for it, and then we go on the show, and then they all the crew decides like they're down to do this performance as our like send off routine.
How did you decide that? Did you suggest it, or did they suggest you first?
I don't think I suggested it, cause
They were like, "Who's got a routine?" Anthony does.
because every routine that we have brought for the most part was like we built it there, you know what I mean? Except for our intro, because our intro you don't know. That was like our intro was Ving's routine, then we reworked it to show a lot of different variation, and then everything was like built there. Nothing was pre-built.
The reason why when we saw that, we were like, "Fuck," because like we try to bait people to try to beat us at our game, which is why it's so easy for us to win.
Like the acrobatic type stuff.
Well, just like because our arrangements are how we win. It's not, but then everyone thinks it's the tricks, but it's the arrangement of it. So then like we try to like make people think they have to do that too, and then when they don't, then it's like, oh god damn it.
Like they're playing their game instead of playing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why we were like, oh, we can't do that. Because mind you, while they're doing that shit, we're putting a fucking target on Steve's dick and doing a flip off it. And that's gonna win. And when you put those next to each other, it was like iconic for all time.
Yeah.
Ours just gets your sensation at that moment. So we were like, ooh, do they know?
And later you find out it's rigged anyway.
No, it was. I don't think it was rigged.
No, they won. Anyways, but the point is when I think especially anybody who is doing anything in their career, when they're pursuing something that they care about, that's like not just like a career for like money or work, it's a sense of self. You're always subconsciously seeking a point of like understanding, not even just validation, like an understanding that that's where you belong. Like you either chose the right path or you belong somewhere or whatever, right? It's just a sense of belonging. And for some reason in life, I'm given this crazy opportunity. We had a cherry blossom prop tree that was like dropping.
Beautiful.
People were in the rafters dropping cherry blossom leaves for this. They had a fog machine, low ground fog for like me to walk through, and then we just start doing this routine, and it's like my, in essence, Mona Lisa of a routine I've ever created. Not by the standards of like, this is best by some judgment. It's just your own version of like something.
It's your
that
small painting that people are taking pictures of.
Exactly. And then we get to do this on TV. And I remember even like the production heads and stuff like that during tech being like, some people, I made people cry doing it. And it's like, that's what I do. Like randomly when I was going around teaching that routine too, people would cry, and I would not understand it because I found this song through doing shrooms and watching The Hobbit. But it did mean something to me. You know what I mean?
It's an all-timer.
Yeah, so like just getting that chance to, one, be on a show that like I witnessed my closest friends experience, and then like God was like, hey, like you get to go on it. That was already, I was on some sort of cloud nine I didn't understand. And then to do a close off with like my closest friends being like, let's do this routine, that was a whole other level of like, I could not believe life. You know?
That was a really nice stamp for this season too.
Yeah, so it just made me feel like whatever choices I finally made, because I too was like very black sheep, even my actual extended family and stuff like that. Everybody went to Harvard, Dartmouth, Berkeley, Yale, Stanford, Cornell, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Throwaway schools.
I felt like I had done something. That my parents were in Vietnam during this time. They were traveling. And my mom sends me, or my dad sends me a video. My mom's on her iPad, and she's just lying in bed with her fucking feet up and shit, and she's just voting for us. And like, I don't have many moments or memories where like I know that my parents were like fighting for me for something like visually I can comprehend it. Yeah. This was one of the most important things that I've ever experienced in my life up until that point. And ironically, it set the bar too for like moving forward. Even after ABDC, everything that we ended up doing after that was like, it all started right there, and I got to participate in a way that was just like, I'll never not be thankful for.
So it was a huge confidence injection, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the thing. Remember, we used to always tell you guys, we're like, we're always gonna win ABDC, but you're gonna win at life. Because that what you guys did was like, if you tried to play the game, you wouldn't end up looking like yourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you guys saying that with your pinkies up, like Hunger Games? Like, oh, we'll always win at life, darling, but you all will win at the games.
Dude, quest for that type of TV show is unbeatable.
Yeah, because we coincidentally already look like what people like of that produced it. That
and you guys are so dynamic and everything.
Yeah.
It was like you guys are made for TV.
But that's why mid-season Mike was like, why the fuck are we trying to do these tricks? Remember?
Yeah.
You guys snapped out of it.
Yeah, we were trying to do like tricks, and we were like in the rehearsal. It was like, guys, we don't do this.
That's what we were trying to get them to do. We were like, come on, man, beat us at this. But then it's like, because we know that what the tone they have is like their brand. Like, we can't just make that up randomly.
But afterwards, you know, we did our normal thing. We got to open up our dojo through like crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Because people were just like fans and followers of what we were actually doing. Afterwards, we sold hella merch.
You guys made more money on your crowdfunding than we did from the prize.
Damn, dude.
It was a good time.
Is that why you call them Jabberwackies?
I've never said
Off
that.
camera?
I've never heard anyone even say that. It's pretty funny.
When we're alone?
The craziest thing is when you bitches said Magawakis, and I was dying. Dude.
That was a fun
I don't know where this is going.
I think we can bring it back now.
Joe.
Yeah.
It's
because I had a Jabberwocky mask and a...
Joe put a MAGA hat on. He's like, what Magawakis?
How trippy would it be if you heard Donald Trump say it? He called his followers
Magawakis.
Honestly, I'd be sick for Jabberwockies.
That would be pretty sick.
all red.
I don't know if they would like it.
So red. I like the color red.
Yeah, I agree with that piece being one of them. Like, when you define Kinjas from that season, that would be the piece for sure.
I want to watch the whole season. Where can I watch the whole fucking season?
Literally on YouTube, it's like in a week, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like 480p, bro. I can't watch no dance.
That was also the best dance TV show that never was too, because they had the worst marketing that season.
Hey, you think they could ever bring that show back? You think it would work today or no?
It'll probably come back at some point.
When I talk to the people that like had a hand in making them, they always say that anything's possible because there is a big hole for it.
Yeah.
There's no competitive thing, but also dance is just too easily consumable, and you can just get it instantly on your phone at any like through.
'Cause of all
You
the
can't
TikTok
you can't
dances.
run away from it.
But
So it's a little bit hard to be like.
But dancers got wrecked at the Olympics, so you just got to wait a couple months.
I mean, it actually has a net positive even after.
I remember even when the show first came out, I was like, yo, this show, I didn't know anything about dancing, but like as a casual viewer, I was like, this is cool.
There's even if they, let's say they greenlit it, there's not 12 crews to do this shit anymore.
Really?
The era of crews is over because like when you can become like a 30 million follower person off of TikTok by using your cell phone in your living room,
Yeah.
like why would you split your performance money with like 7 other people?
Yeah.
Travel, hotel, food, accommodation.
People
It's
don't
like,
train that way anymore, and there's not enough. Even if they had those open slots, 12 homies wouldn't be able to get together with enough time and look like a crew.
What if they did like 5? 12 is too much.
that was a golden era.
That's
I
just
will say
playoffs,
that.
and you're starting the playoffs.
It's trippy because all those crews already existed back then. That's the weird part.
We were like real crews.
Yeah. And we'd already won a ton of competitions and shit already. So it wasn't like doing that was just an extent. It was like the finals of what you were already doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, I can't imagine who they would even get.
How you feel about that? We just talked about dance hella.
Were you dying?
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know.
He just checked
I
out.
was like thinking about.
But yeah, if
I
you guys
watched stuff
watch
like
that piece, what's the actual name of it?
I'm watching-
Icy
It's called
Fire.
Icy Fire.
Yeah,
watching
there's
the
also a
remake.
Kinja's week 1 through 7 compilation, but watch that one. That
Icy
is really
Fire.
good.
I'm gonna watch it.
Icy Fire, Kinja's ABDC, season 8.
What a legend.
What a legend.
Okay, guys.
Anthony.